You're in the kitchen, packing lunches, calling out for the third time. Can you please just brush your teeth and put your shoes on? And nothing happens. Suddenly, you can feel it building inside of you. The rage. Today, we're talking about why your child won't listen in the morning and what they might be really trying to tell you. Because this is one of those everyday parenting moments that can quietly turn into a power struggle for both of you. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This is Self-Led Parenting Live, where we explore how to stay connected to our kids and to ourselves, especially in the moments that feel the most overwhelming for us as parents. My name is Jacqueline Long, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I work alongside a wonderful group of clinicians supporting children, teens, adults, and families across California. And today, we're slowing down a very common moment when your child won't listen or get going in the morning. And before we go any further, if this moment is familiar and you can feel something inside of you already reacting, that's information. In internal family systems, or IFS, we call it a trailhead, the beginning of a healing journey that's there, just waiting for you, inviting you to take the next step. That internal activation is a signal that you have a whole internal system, an inner life that's trying its best to communicate with you the best way it knows how. And I want to let you know that all parts of you are welcome here. And if you have questions come up for you, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'd love to try to respond in a future episode. So let's slow this moment down together. It helps to remember that inside your child, it might not be just one thing going on. There could be lots of things. A part that's still waking up, a part that feels overwhelmed by transitions, a part that's not ready for school yet. Maybe there's some neurodiversity, maybe some challenges with executive functioning, maybe there's a situation at school that's really bothering them. But for this child that we're going to consider today, we're going to imagine that it's a part that resists control, kind of like counter will. The part inside that says, oh, when I feel you telling me what to do, I don't want to do it. And it's a very natural human response to pressure. So when they hear your voice from the other room, even if your words make the best sense, something in them will push back. And it's not because they're simply being defiant, but because something inside of them feels pressured. And as we know in physics, for every force, there's an equal and opposite force. So those are just some of the things that might be happening inside your kid. And inside of you, there are probably parts getting activated too, right? For many of us, there might be an anxious part that's feeling the weight of time pressure. Oh my God, we're going to be late. We can all relate to that one, I think. There might be an angry part that says something like, why do we always have to be so late? Why are you making us late? You should be able to do this by now. And most of us can also probably relate to a judgmental part that's kind of disgusted by it all, saying, what's wrong with you? And often, what did I do so wrong? I clearly raised them wrong. How could I have done this? So, we can see that parts are activated inside of them, trying to protect them the best way they know how. And there are parts that are getting activated inside of you, trying to protect you the best way they know how. So it's easy to see how both of our systems are trying to protect at the same time. And we call that a parts battle or a power struggle. And this is the moment where most parenting advice focuses on how to intervene with the child out there. But in IFS, we do something different. We start by making a U-turn. We do a U-turn to return back home to ourselves, back home to our own internal systems. So before you intervene with your child, your own inner system might benefit from your warm, compassionate attention first. That anxious part, angry part, that judging part, it can help to turn towards them and spend some time getting to know them. In IFS, we call this unblending and befriending. So, spending some time with your own parts, your own system first, being curious about these parts of you inside, offering them your compassionate presence. That's the U-turn. It's about tending to ourselves, getting to know ourselves, and befriending more parts of ourselves first before taking the next steps with our kids. Because it's not just what you say, it's where it comes from inside of you that matters most when you intervene with your kid, whatever you decide to do next. And it helps to kind of get the sense that before we do the U-turn, we're usually more parts-led. We're activated parts of us are leading the way. We're blended with these parts typically. Now we're really going to be late. I've asked you 3 times. Why is this so hard? Will you just do it for me? Kind of pleading with them from this part. And after doing the U-turn, after turning towards ourselves and being with our own internal system, we're more self-led. And self-leadership might look like this. I'll put down what I'm doing. I'll walk myself over to my kid. I'll pause for a moment and self-regulate a little bit, checking in with my system again inside and say, hey, I can see it's hard to get going this morning. Sometimes it's hard for me too, but it'll get easier. Or I'm right here with you. Let's take this next step together. Or I know it's hard and I know you can do it. I believe in you. Or, what was the next step in your morning routine? I think you made a picture schedule, right? Where did we put that picture schedule? I wonder what's next. I wonder what the next picture is. This isn't about doing it for them. It's about bringing your calm, confident presence to them. So their calm system and good thinking can come online. Our self-energy draws out their self-energy. Our self-regulation draws out their self-regulation. We self-regulate first in order to co-regulate with our kids. We self-regulate to co-regulate. It's a beautiful, beautiful dance. And just to be really clear, connection doesn't mean having no expectations of our kids. In fact, when you're calm and connected, you can actually see more clearly. You can see that your child is actually capable and that some kids, especially neurodivergent kids, really do need a little extra support and kindness and care, especially those highly sensitive kids that are more sensitive to the time pressure in the morning, more sensitive to our anxiety and our facial expressions and our tone of voice and body language, the nonverbal cues. So instead of saying, you should be able to do this by now, from a self-led place, we're communicating, I believe you can do this, and I'm right here with you, as you do. So before we close, just take a moment and see if you might be interested in doing a simple U-turn with me right now. Gently bring your attention inside and notice what happens inside of you when you imagine that morning moment when your child stalls and you start running late. Where do you find it in or around your body? See if you can bring just a little curiosity there, a little warmth there. Not to fix it, just to be with it. That's the U-turn. That's the experience of coming back home to yourself first. Before you say or do whatever it is you're going to say or do with your kid. We self-regulate in order to co-regulate. Our self-energy and self-leadership draws out their self-energy, their self-leadership. And now I'll shift a little bit and read you a letter written from the perspective of a child to his parents. It's called "Mornings Feel Harder for Me Than You Might Think." Dear Mom and Dad, mornings are hard for me, even if it doesn't look like it from the outside. It's not that I don't hear you, I do, but sometimes it feels like everything is happening all at once. My body feels slow, my brain isn't fully there yet. And when I hear you calling from the other room, something inside me just wants to push back. I don't know why. It's not because I don't care. I do care. I want the morning to go well. It's just that it feels like pressure. And for some reason, when the pressure gets bigger, I get slower, or I stop listening, or I say, I know, in that tone that you don't like. What helps me most is when you come closer, when your voice feels calm, not rushed, when your face looks warm and kind, like you care about me, when you don't assume I'm trying to be difficult, because I'm not, and when you stay with me, so I know I'm not alone. Because when you feel calm, Mom and Dad, it actually helps me get going, even if it takes an extra minute. So thanks for your patience with me as I figure myself out in the morning. And thanks for giving me the sense that our connection is more important than getting to school on time. I'll carry that with me inside forever. And that feeling will actually help me get to school on time. You'll see. Love, your kid. Let's just let that land together for a moment. And here are some key takeaways. 1, stalling is a signal that more connection might be needed. 2, both of your systems are trying to protect at the same time the very best way they know how. 3, your parts might need your attention first. 4, connection and confidence and compassion all come together to support your kids with follow through. So, if you notice yourself getting activated during the next morning routine, that's just information. It's a trailhead. You can pause, become curious, turn inward, and tend to what's happening inside yourself. That's the U-turn. And when you bring even a little more steadiness to your own inner world, it changes the moment between you and your child in a way that's truly transformative for the relationship between you and for generations to come. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the most important work in the world, raising your kids. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific.